application with the minimum or a simple technical details in the Pega. So from day 14 we will go with advanced topics. In Pega we have two types of certifications. One is CSA, one is CSSC. So day 13 we will cover CSA topics. So all the basic level topics are required to work on the Pega tool. So, but if you want to work on real time, you need more expertise. So in order to achieve that one, from day 14 we will jump into advanced topics, and we will also explain activities, agents, reports, debugging tools. I mean for every platform. So if you, I mean for every technology. So there should be some debugging tools. If any issue comes, how can we debug it? We will also see that one. So agents, how can we run the background process? So how can we run the background process during midnight? How can we achieve that using agents? And how can a manager generate the reports on his own? We'll see the reports. And as part of the integration part, we will also give a demo. We'll also give a demo on SOAP services. How can we connect to SOAP service from Pega? And we'll also show you the end-to-end demonstration. So from day 14 we are discussing the advanced topics, right? So these advanced topics also will be explained with the existing application. Already we completed one application by day 13. So we will correlate this topics with the existing application so that you will easily correlate the real-time scenarios. So that is the plan, Akila. If you have any doubts here, you can ask about the course. Otherwise, we'll jump into the actual demo topic.
I'm fine, sir.
Yep. And let me tell you, once you complete the course, we'll also give you the documents for CSA level. So this course is meant for CSA as well as CSSA, 2 levels of certification. We cover all the CSA topics, but in CSSA, we cover only 70% of the topics which are required for the actual development. And then once we complete this course, we will give the documents as well for your practice purpose. I mean, for the interview purpose, it may be for tracking your interviews, or it may be tracking your CSA certification. That is about course. Now today's demo topic is, I'm giving this demo topic a simple topics because you are new to Pega, so I'm started with a simple topic like operators and layouts. Let's see what is an operator in Pega. So for any application, user should be there. So without user, you cannot log in into an application. So user is must for any application if you want to log in into an application. So in Pega, so the terminology will be somewhat different because Pega is a BPM tool. So here the business terminology will come into picture rather than technical terminology. So you need to remember the terminology. So the same user, whatever we call in general, the user, here in Pega we call them as operator. Operator nothing but a user who can log in into an PRPC application. Okay, anyone who can log in into PRPC application, those people will be called as an operator. In generic sense, it is a user, but in Pega terminology, we call them an operator. And each operator will be having a user ID that is called operator ID and a password. So anyone who can log, it may be a product manager, it may be end user, it may be business analyst, it may be tester, anyone who can log in into a PRPC system, Pega PRPC system is called an operator. In generic, in outside the Pega world, we call them as a user. The same people will be called here as a operators. So each operator will be having a username and password. And here they are attached to access group. The access group determines, so he need to log in an application. So while providing username and password, system will determine what is the application the operator have access. Let's say application A is there, application B is there. So operator A is operator 1 is logging into the application. So I have two applications, operator A and application A and application B, and operator 1 is logging in, and this particular operator 1 is having access to which application, that will be determined by the access group. So access group determines what type of access the operator have and what is the role of that operator. Let's say if you are logging as a developer, okay, the privileges may be different. As a developer, you should have all the privileges. If you are logging as a end user, I mean the privileges will be less. If you log in as a manager, so the privileges will be more than the user, because you are a manager. You need to have some more extra capabilities on top of user. Whatever user can do, manager also can do. At the same time, he can also do he can also do some extra work, because he is a manager. He need to monitor the all the users' work. So this access group determines all these things. Access group determines what type of application he can access and what is the role he is performing. That this access group will be associated to the each and every operator ID. Here in Pega, everything is a rule. It's a rule-based system. So even operator ID is operator is a one rule, access group is a one rule. So this access group will be associated. This access group rule is associated to the operator rule. So how I will also give you a demo. I mean I will also show you on the system once we complete this operators concept. Now, so as I said, we have three roles. So I mean the access group determines the application based on the role, right? So based on the role, we are displaying different user experience to the user. If you are logging as a user, I mean as a developer, the look and feel to the developer will be different, because he needs to develop an application. So for each and every role, we are giving three different portals. The portals is nothing but a work area. A portal is a web page where the people will actually do the work. And here for administrator, we as a developer, so he need to design the application, and he need to develop the logic so that we will display the Designer Studio portal to do their work. Designer Studio is a developer portal. You need to remember that Designer Studio is a developer portal. If you log in as a developer, you can see Designer Studio. If you log in as an end user, I mean once your development is over, you will move the code to production. So who will use the application? Obviously end users only. So when the end user logs into the application, the look and feel of the case worker, I mean the worker who is logging into the as a end user, the look and feel will be different, and that will be determined by case worker portal. As the name indicates, case worker portal will be useful for the end users to create the work items. I will also show you this one how this looks like in the existing application. So as the name indicates, case manager, work manager. Okay, work manager also having some. I mean, manager will be having some additional capabilities on top of case worker end user, because under a manager, many users may be working. So he needs to monitor all the end users' work, and he also needs to assign the work to users. So he needs all those capabilities in the portal. So we will also give those, and he also need to develop some or generate some reports on his own. So we need to give all these capabilities to the manager in the manager portal. So this case manager portal is for managers. And here sometimes we need to get some approvals or rejections from the I mean once the end user submits some work, sometimes we need to get some approvals. Let's say you are applying for a leave in the software company. So what happens? It will go to your manager for the approval purpose, right? So the manager will approve or reject. Based on that, your case will be closed. I mean the leave transaction will be closed. Okay, this is about any operators now we will jump into technical prospect. This is about a theoretical simple theoretical concept. Now we will show you how the operator looks like. So here let me I'm running in my local. I mean the PRPC is running in my local. I'm logging into the application. I will log into the application with existing app. Right now I don't have for you don't have any application, right? I will log in with the existing application. I will show you. It's directly logging in. I will log off here. So when you install the PRP system, so when you install the PRP system and when you give this URL initially, the look and feel will be like this. You need to provide username and password, nothing but operator ID. Here in Pega terminology we call them operator ID and password. So here I am using the operator ID as demo.com and password is rules. By default, the password will be rules for all the operators. So if you want to change, you can change the password. How can we change the password? I will also show you. So here I am logging as a developer. Admin means developer. So he can have all the developer privileges. So if I am able to log in, so by using this operator ID, that means this operator, this person is called as operator because he is able to log into PRPC application. This is a PRPC application. So this particular person, admin at demo.com, is able to log into PRPC application. So he will be called as an operator. So as a definition, anyone who can log in into a PRPC application, those people will be called as a operators. It may be an individual person, it may be organization, it may be a third-party agent, it may be anyone who can log into PRPC application. Those people will be called as a end users. So once you give the username and password, I'm directly getting demo application because I have access to demo application. How can the system determine? As I said, we have an access group associated to the operator ID. So we will see those details. How can we? What are the different configurations options available for the operator? We'll see now. So if you want to see the, I will explain this one in the actual what this menu is meant for, the actual class. So for now, so whenever you log in as a operator, you can see this operator details here. Icon is there. Here you can see administrator. Open there and click. You can see operator option is there. Just select the operator option. So if you want to configure any additional configurations for this operator, you need to open the operator option. If you want to see the profile, complete profile, you can see this one. So you cannot edit it. Whatever you edited here, operator form, you can see here. Like your first name, last name, all the things will be seen here. See here. With your photo, it will display your name, what is your position, ID, or what is your organization, division, unit, a lot of other things. I will explain in detail in coming actual sessions. So this is a place where you need to configure the operator ID, operator details. So here you need to give the first name and last name and full name. Here full name is mandatory. So you can see whatever the full name you are giving here, the same name is coming here when you log in into PRPC application. And as I said, you can see access group. Okay, access group determines what type of application you have access and what type of, what is the role we are performing. Here you can see whenever you log in into a PRPC system, the system will check this operator record. The system will check the operator record, and here wherever the checkbox is checked, wherever the radio button is checked, that application will be displayed. Here for demo APPL is a demo application, right? So demo application is default checked. That is why by default it is displaying demo application. But he is logging as a admin. This is a role. This indicates role. Administrator is a role. This is a application. So in the demo application, this operator is logged in as an administrator, nothing but a developer in this concept. That is why you can see Designer Studio. As I said, Designer Studio is for developers. And then what are the different options? The access group, you can enter any access groups here, any number of access groups, but default you can select only one option. whichever you select by default, those will be displayed when you log into PRPC application. So here in this particular operator having access to 3 applications. One is demo application, one is SOAP demo, one is hiring process. So this particular operator having access to 3 applications, but by default system is displaying demo application because by default this is selected. But how can we switch? How can we select these remaining 2? You have, I mean, whatever you enter here, that means he have access to multiple applications. If you have access to multiple applications, you can enter like this. Just click this plus symbol and you can enter the detail operator access group name, and then automatically you have whatever the access you have. Let's say this will be also useful. Let's take an example. You are an ICICI employee. So as an ICICI employee, he needs to perform different actions. You need to do deposit. You need to work on mutual funds. You need to work on credit cards. You need to work on different things. A single employee is working on different actions. That means in ICICI we'll be having different applications for credit card, for savings account, for deposit. We'll be having different applications. So that because he is an employee of ICICI, he needs to have access to multiple applications. In those scenarios, here we will mention what type of application, I mean, to how many applications you have access, we need to mention here, and what is the default application he needs to access when he log in into application, that will be default selected. And if you want to switch this between the applications, you need to go to existing application. This is called application menu. Okay, just click that one, and you can see switch application option is there. Okay, you can see the remaining applications are coming. Just select that one. So I'm selecting SOAP demo. What's happening? Let me log off again. So if you want to switch between the applications, you need to go to existing application, which is application menu. Switch application option is there. Select whichever you want. I think it will take some time. Let's see. It's still processing here. You can see here. You can see SOAP demo application is open. If you want to again go back to demo application, see this is, you can see the icon here, which to which application you have jumped right now. So if you want to again go back to demo application, just click on demo application. Again you can go for demo application. That means you can have access to multiple applications as a developer also. This is developer portal, right? This is a developer can have multiple actions. In the same way, okay, before going to other options, let me show you what are the different portals we have. Let me log in as end user, right? End user also. I'm logging with end user. The default username and password will be same. User at our organization name, and the password will be rules only. It's not there. Demo.com. We'll use, say, user @payroll team. So here I am able to log in into a PRPC application as an end user. So you can see user, okay, and you can see this is the end user look and feel. So when the end user logs into the system, you can see only this part. He cannot do anything. He can create the work. The case he can do, create the work, and he can do whatever he can do. As the interview process, this is for other applications. So I'm giving classes for other team, right? So I'm showing that application. So he can create the work. He cannot do anything because he's the end user. He cannot develop anything. He can, whatever the development is over, he can create, he can run that application, and you can see what are the different options available here. This is a end user portal. Now let's see. Let me log in with the manager. My system is very slow today. This is the application. Okay. So end user will run the application only. You cannot do anything. So let me go back here. And if you have access to multiple applications, right, you can use the switch apps. So for this operator, you don't have access to multiple applications, only one application is showing. Okay, if you have switch option is there, if you want to have access to multiple applications, all the applications will list down here. You can switch as an end user as well. Now let me log off and let me log in as a manager. That is a case worker portal. So if you log in with a manager at payroll team. So you will see a case manager portal. This is a different portal, case manager, where manager will do all his work. See here, the reports is extra. I mean, if you see the existing case worker, the reports are not, the report option is not there in the case worker portal. But for the case manager, because he is a manager, he can also generate the reports. Okay, you can also create the work as well as a end user. And along with that, you can do some extra actions. If you go to this operator menu, you can see you can also have switch options. You can see bulk actions are available. So when you see, but bulk actions will be useful to assign the work to the people who is working under him. Because he is a manager, so many people is reporting to him. He can assign the work. You can see, you can assign the work based on the. Let's say I have 30 types of works. If you want to assign to different people, you can assign them to different people based on the workload they have. So we have some additional capability because he's the end user. He can have he can have additional capabilities like generating the reports and assigning the work. You can see all those details. This is the manager portal. So now let me log in as a developer. And what are the different options available in the operator form? Now we will see. So work. So every time I am saying how can we? So because it's a BPM tool, right? This is a process oriented. So BPM is business process management. So everything is a process oriented. If you take a loan application, so if you apply for a loan in ICICI Bank, what happens when you apply for a loan from the front end? So it will go to processor. I mean, it will go how it is going to processor. System is already configured in such a way that it is assigning the application is routed to a particular operator or a user to work upon that application. So how can we assign the work in Pega? So if you want to all those things, you can use the work. The work tab, in the work tab will configure all those things. Okay, and while developing the application, we can we can assign the work to this operator. I mean, there may be any number of operators in the Pega. So in the application, so we can assign the work to any operator during development and application. But before that, you need to this should be properly configured. If you configure this proper, then only you can assign the work. So first thing is routing. As said, routing means assigning the work. So in this routing section, we need to configure in which organization you are working for. In this scenario, demo.com is my organization. So if you're working for ICICI, you can also update the organization if you want. But it is to which organization you are working for, only those organizations you need to select. All these organizations created in real time, you can see only one organization, but I am giving many demos, so you can see number of organization names here. So to whoever organization you belongs to, you need to select that particular organization name here, so that this is indication to the system saying that he belongs to a particular unit in a organization, in the demo.com organization. And work group, as the name indicates, work group. Work group means a group of people collecting to a group of people working together for a functionality, and a group of people will be having a manager. So work group determines who is a manager for you. So this is also a rule. Work group is also a rule. you can see magnifying symbol here. That will open the record. It will open the rule. This is a work group rule. Here we will configure the manager. So here in this scenario, administrator itself is a manager. So whoever belongs to this work group, many people, like you have user 1, user 2, user 3 is there, right? So all these users will belongs to the same work group. That means all these users, user 1 and user 2 and user 3 is reporting to this particular manager. So our work group will determine to whom you are reporting to, who is your manager. Okay. Sometimes other than the manager, sometimes we need to report to some other person. My actual reporting should be the manager, but sometimes we need to report to some other lead or some other person. So if you have that kind of scenario, you need to mention here to whom you are reporting. This is a daily reporting. This is a actual you are reporting person. Sometimes generally we don't report to manager, we report to leads, right? So if you are reporting to leads, you can mention here. This is for daily reporting. This is for your actual reporter is manager, but you are reporting to develop the lead. The lead internally will report to manager. You need to configure here the skills. So what type of skills you have? I mean, if you have a French skill, if you have German skills, you need to mention here. What is the use of that one? So during application development, okay, if you want to assign the work, let's say I received an application in German technology, okay. So I want to system automatically want to assign the work to the person who knows German technology only. I mean, no manual intervention will be there. System, there are 100 operators are there. Out of 100 operators, whoever knows the German technology, the system will automatically assign the work to that person. How can the system determine the skills? You need to mention here. If you mention here, then only the system the system will search all the skills for each and every operator, and wherever he meets the particular skill, the work will be assigned to that person by the system only. Okay. So if you have any additional skills, you can mention here. So these are the out of the box. When I use out of the box word, OOTB means out of the box. That means which came with a product. I mean, when you install the PRPC, right, that is a product. So whatever came with the product, that is called out of the box. Whatever you are implementing on top of PRP, that is called customization or custom. So these are the out of the box options. So if you want to create your own, I mean, custom skill, you can just give the name and just click this plus symbol. Automatically it will open a new form. Let's say if you have a German skills. So you have a German skills, and what is your expertise? You need to give the rating between the scale of 0 to 10. So 0 indicates nothing. 10 indicates is an expert in that. So you need to give the rating here. So during assigning the work, I mean during skill-based routing, the system will check this skills record, and wherever you have, if you meet the required skill, then the work will be automatically assigned to you. So if you want to assign the work, this checkbox is checked. So if you uncheck this box, system cannot assign the work to you. Let's say if you are on leave or you left the company. Okay, you left the company suddenly, then what the administrator will do? He will just uncheck this one. Automatically the work will not be assigned to you. So right now your employee of ICICI work is assigning to you. Suddenly you stopped working in the ICICI company and you jumped into some other company. So what they will do? They will open your operator ID form and they will uncheck this box, so that even if you configure in your application this operator, then the operator, the system will not assign any work to this operator, because we will uncheck this one. This box, operator is not available to receive the work. If you check this box, that means operator is available to receive the work, but if you uncheck, operator is not available to receive the work. And then scheduling. So in the scheduling section, we'll deal with what is the time zone you are working, what is the calendar you are following, and if you are on leave, to how many days you are on leave, we will track here. So unavailable from and to mention here. So during leave also, if you are on leave particular day and you are assigning the system is assigning the work to you, but your work will not be completed because you are on leave. So what system will do? The system will check the record whether you are in leave or not, and it will go for substitute operator. So during on your leave, we need to the people will configure the substitute operator. So who is substitute operator for you? So system will automatically assign the work to that person. So to determine the substitute operator, we have some more rule called decision trees. The decision, we need to make the decision before identifying a particular operator. We will configure here. And even if the this person is not the substitute operator is not available, we'll go to default to assignee. So default to assignee means generally it will be manager. So if nobody is available, everything will go to manager work basket. Now manager manually he can assign the work to different people whenever he comes back to office. And then coming to security tab, if you want to update the password, as I said, you can see here, update the password. You can update the password. Okay, but by default the rules is a default password for each and every operator. So you can update the password as well. And these options are somewhat advanced here at this level. We will discuss these things in actual course. So history is generally useful for the documentation purpose. In Pega, we have documentation tools. No need to write the documentation. We have a tools to generate the documentation. So for the documentation purpose, we need to give the description and usage of this rule. This is a rule. What is the description of this rule? Okay, why you are using it? And usage means how we are using it, where we are using it. You need to mention usage. You need to give proper description and proper usage so that during application, during developing the document, system will use this description and usage and display on the document. So if you give proper description, then the document will be looking good. And history details. So whoever is modifying this rule, you can see here. So who last modified, who last updated. If you want to see the full history, just click this full history. It will display all the full history. So whoever is modifying this record with the timestamp and the operator will give all the details. Whoever is modifying. That is about simple operators. I mean, how to configure a simple. What are the different options available in the operator form? Now the demo topic. Next demo topic is UI layouts. So this is a layout, right? So layout is nothing but how do you want to present the UI? I mean, how do you want to align the elements in the UI? Okay, that will be determined by the layout. So what type of layouts we have in Pega? We have a dynamic layout. Dynamic layout means the system will automatically adjust the resolution. I mean, the power of Pega tool here is you create an application for desktop or a desktop, but the same application will be automatically work in mobile as well as laptop and all the devices. How the system is automatically working in each and every device because of the dynamic layouts. The dynamic layouts will use the latest CSS and latest HTML5 internally, and the system will automatically adjust the resolution of the application. I will show you that one. I will adjust. Let me log in with as a end user. Again, user, I'm giving demo.com again. Sorry, URLs. Let me log in. User at I'm logging as an end user. So this is the desktop view, right? Let's assume I am converting into mobile view. I am reducing the resolution. Now see, this is the mobile view. System is automatically adjusting everything. That means the same application. If you run this application mobile, you can see this look and feel. You can create the case. Everything you can do in the mobile. This is the power of Pega. By using, you can create an application on desktop. The same application will be working in all the devices. You can reduce to laptop view. This is the laptop view will be like this, right? Yes, this size. If you are working on a tablet, the size will be this much, I guess. This is like, so system is automatically adjust the UI according to the resolution. No need to write, no need to do any extra configurations for the different devices. That is achieved using the dynamic layouts. Okay, we have, I mean, in Pega 6, we have, in earlier versions, I can say we have smart layout and freeform layout are there, which are not responsive. We call them responsive. Responsiveness means based on the resolution, system will adjust automatically. So dynamic layouts are responsive, whereas smart layout and freeform layouts are not as responsive. That is why in Pega 7 they migrated this smart layout features and freeform layouts and dynamic layout, and they made it a new concept like dynamic layout. Now you can see this is a section. In the section, this is the actual rule in we develop UI is section. In the section we configure these layouts, dynamic layouts and all those things. Okay, this is a sample UI, how this will look like. So this is a stack format. How do you want to present the UI? You can see the same dynamic layouts will be fit for multiple screens. It will work for a laptop, it will work for mobile, it will work for tablet. That is called responsiveness. Okay, or then you can, if you want to display UI like this, you can also do that one using the using the Pega UI capabilities. So if you want to display 3 columns in a row, if you can see 3 columns are there, right? In the first image, the second image is stack format, 1 by 1. The third image two columns per row. So whatever you want, you can display according to requirement. You can display the UI. So, but this UI, the Pega UI will also work in all the major browsers like Chrome, Safari, IE, and Firefox. Okay, it will support all the browsers. So internally, so Pega tool internally what it will do, you don't need to write a single line of Java code. It's just a tool. System will generate the Java code for you. System is working on Java only, but as a developer, you don't need to write any single line of Java code. System will generate the Java code and the HTML code for displaying on the UI. Okay, all these things will be developed, will be internally generated by the system. You don't need to bother about that. Yeah, that is about a simple demo, Akila. And if you have any doubts regarding the post, you can ask me now.
Can you again tell me about how to change? How to give the access to different users?
Yeah, I will tell you. So whenever you're creating a new application, right?
Okay.
Whenever you are creating new, this is I am showing for existing application. Already I have some application I am showing on that one. But in actual scenario, whenever you are creating a new application, system will give 3 access groups by default. System will give 3 access groups: one for developers, one for end users, and one for managers. Okay, 3 access groups. These are 3 access group. As I said, access group nothing but to determine the application name as well as a role.
Okay.
So for each and every role, the system will automatically give 3 access groups: one for developer, one for end users, one for managers. So if you have access to multiple applications, what you need to do? You need to go to operator form. You need to log in as a developer. This is end user, right? You need to log in as a developer.
Other than these 3, we can we also create more members for the application?
Yeah, obviously. System will give 3 operators by default: one for developer, one for user, one for end user. So ICICI Bank is having 100 employees, right? Obviously you need to create 100 operators. You can create that. Okay, how can you create? We will see the actual topics in the first. Creating organization, creating operator IDs, creating the rule set. In this topic we will cover how can we create new operators.
Okay.
Okay, this is just a demo topic. I cannot show everything here.
Okay.
Okay. In actual discussion, everything. We can create new operators. We can create new access groups. We can assign the access groups as well.
Okay, sir.
Yep. So if you have any doubts, you can. If you have no doubts, then we can wrap up for today.
Yeah, sir. I'm fine. I'm not having any doubts.
Okay then. Okay. Thank you, Akila. Thank you for your time. And you can discuss with Ashok for the remaining details.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Akila. Is this demo session over?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The demo is over.
Okay.